Hello students, in the last lecture we did AC voltage applied to LCR series circuit. Let us revise the equation. The source voltage was Vm sin omega t and we assumed that the current in the circuit is equal to Im sin of omega t plus phi, where phi is phase difference between V and I. We assume that the circuit is capacitive, that is Xc is greater than XL. Then the voltage equation was written as, so voltage equation V is equal to VR plus VL plus VC. That was a potential difference across resistor, inductor and capacitor. So this was a voltage equation, and with the help of a phasor diagram we have written the phasor equation, that was V is equal to VR plus VL plus VC. And then we have drawn the phasor diagram, and separately if we do draw this voltage or a phasor equation diagram, it was a right angle triangle where this was V, the phasor V, which was written as the Vm. This was VRM, that is the maximum voltage across the resistance, and it was VCM minus VLM, and this was the angle phi, that is a phase difference. And from the Pythagoras theorem we found that Vm square is equal to under root Vrm square plus VCM minus VLM square, and then we substituted the individual values of the current, where Vrm was equal to IMR, VLM was equal to IMXL, then VCM was equal to IMXC, because in series LCR circuit the current remains constant, and then we substituted all these values and we found that Im was equal to Vm divided by under root R square plus Xc minus XL whole square. So this was the maximum current in the circuit using the phasor diagram, and this value Z, which was known as the impedance, that is the total resistance offered by LCR circuit to the flow of a AC current. So to the flow of an AC current we have written this as a impedance, that is the total resistance offered by XCR to the flow of an AC current. So we derived our relation using the phasor diagram up to this point. Now if we draw the impedance diagram for this impedance, so from the figure also, say this is Vrm. So Vrm can also be written as IMR. Similarly, this can be written as IMZ. Vm can be written as, this is your Z. So the other form of this equation is Im is also equal to Vm upon Z. And as required, if we need to find out IRMS, IRMS, then we divide this equation by root 2 on both sides, and we know Im upon root 2. So if I write this equation, Im divided by root 2, that is equal to Vm divided by root 2 upon Z. So as we required, this can be written as Irms is equal to Vrms upon Z. That is the Ohm's law. And in our book, we followed the symbol of capital R because it match or it resemble with the Ohm's law. So this was the situation using the phasor diagram, where we assume that the circuit is capacitive, that is the capacitive reactance is greater than the inductive reactance. Now if the inductive reactance is greater than the capacitive reactance, then we interchange this value, though it is a square, so it will not affect our result also. So here XL minus XC whole square. Now we draw an impedance triangle or a impedance diagram. So impedance diagram or impedance triangle can be used to find out the phase difference. We have not found the phase difference. So phase difference can also be found from this diagram. From this diagram, I can write tan of phi is equal to opposite upon adjacent. So that is VCM minus VLM upon VRM. So from this equation also I can find out the phase difference between V and I. Now VCM, it can be written as IMXC, similarly IMXL, IMR. IM can be taken common. So this can be written as XC minus XL upon R. So this is tan of phi, that is neither 90 degree or 0 degree. So you have to find out this value. Now impedance diagram can be drawn from this diagram only. So here we draw a diagram for the impedance. So tan phi is equal to XC minus XL upon R. So I can take this as phi. This can be written as R, and this can be written as XC minus XL, and this is your Z. So again, if I apply the Pythagoras theorem to this impedance diagram, I will come to this equation, that is hypotenuse square is equal to R square plus XC minus XL whole square. So equation 6 can be found from the impedance diagram. Similarly, Vm can be found by this equation. Tan phi, either you find it from the voltage diagram or a impedance diagram, it comes out to be same, that is tan phi. So this is all about we have for AC voltage applied to a series LCR circuit. Now in the end, we have to draw the curve for V versus I and omega t, which we have drawn individually for all the circuits. So let us draw the diagram for Vi versus omega t. So here, first we draw this graph, and correspondingly we will also draw the phasor diagram for this circuit, and it is clear that the current, because XC is greater than XL, this phi comes out to be positive, that is current will lead the voltage. If we have XL greater than XC, then we will have a current lags behind the voltage. So now we draw the diagram. This should be the equation, that is a sine graph. So I draw a sine graph for V. So this is a sine graph for V. This is omega t. This is pi, and this is 2 pi. and this value we know is Vm. Now Im is equal to Im sine omega t plus something. Again it is a sine curve, but its value is greater than this V. So we start again sine curve from this side. So again we draw a sine curve. This difference, that is the maximum value of Im, and this is the maximum value of voltage. So this is your phi. This difference is phi between, because phi is a potential difference, it is a phase difference. It is a phase difference. We read it as a phase difference. So this angle is phi, or we can also say this difference between the angle is the phi. So this is the phase difference between V and I. Phase difference between V and I. Now to draw the phasor diagram, we take any instant which is, say, omega t1. So let us say this is omega t1. Again we take a horizontal component from this point. Now we know that Xc is greater than XL, so current should lead the voltage. So this becomes phasor for a voltage, and this becomes phasor for a current I, and this angle, which should not be 90, this angle should be phi, though here it seems that the angle drawn is 90, but when we draw this diagram properly, you have to remember this angle should not be 90 degree, because the phase difference is obtained from this formula tan phi. So don't draw this as 90 degree. Now it is, angle is phi, where phi is the phase difference between V and I. So this is phasor V and this is phasor I. Here current is leading the voltage by the phase difference, and when doing the numerical, the phase difference phi is equal to tan inverse Xc minus XL upon R. This is how we find out the phase difference between V and I for AC voltage applied to an LCR series circuit. Now let us see example number 5. A light bulb and an open coil inductor are connected to an AC source through a key as shown in the figure. So we have an inductor connected to a bulb through an open key, and the circuit is connected with AC supply as shown in the figure. So it is RL circuit actually. So if I take the resistance of the bulb as R and that of inductance is L, so we can say it is RL circuit. So in order to find out the current, we assume this circuit to be LR circuit. The switch is closed, and after some time the iron rod is inserted into the interior of an inductor. So it is given that a switch is closed and after some time an iron rod is inserted into the interior of an inductor. The glow of the light bulb, now say it is an MCQ, it is given that whether the glow of the light bulb will increase or it decrease. So we have an option also here, or remain unchanged is unchanged as the iron rod is inserted. Give your answer with reason. So clearly, when an iron rod is inserted, see when the key is closed and if air is the core or air is the medium in an inductor, so when key is closed and the core of inductor, here core means the medium inside the inductor is air, then we have found the self-inductance to be mu naught n square A into L. That is the self-inductance of an inductor, where N is the number of turns per unit length, A is the area of cross section, and L is the length of inductor. That is what we have derived, mu naught n square A into L, where N is the number of turns, where A is number of turns per unit length. So other form can also be, you can substitute capital N here. So you have to remember L is also equal to mu naught n square A upon L. So you have to remember L is also directly proportional to the square of the number of turns. If the medium or the dimension does not change, only the number of turns increase or decrease. Now we inserted the iron rod. So what will happen to inductance? The inductance value will increase because the medium is changed. Let us name this inductance to be L naught. So when iron rod is inserted, when iron rod is inserted in the coil, then L is equal to mu n square AL, where mu is permeability, of the medium or the iron rod. So mu we know is much greater than the value of the permeability of a medium. So here mu is much greater than mu naught. So L is greater than L naught. Therefore, the inductance increases, self-inductance increases, and we know that if the self-inductance increases or the self-inductance also increases because the magnetic field has also increased. So either this can be the reason that the self-inductance of the coil increases. Self-inductance means the back EMF, or there will be a self-induced EMF which will oppose the growth of the current. So the glowness or the brightness of the bulb will decrease. So as here mu is greater than mu naught, so L is greater than L naught. Hence, the bulb glow will be less. So the glowness or a shineness of the bulb will reduce. So the option should be it decreases because the self-induced EMF will oppose the growth of the current in the circuit. Now suppose we want to find out the current in such circuit, then maximum current in the circuit will be equal to Vm under root, we have to use the Ohm's law, that is impedance. So here impedance becomes R square plus, there is no capacitor, so we remove that as XC sign and then we have XL square. So in case we have to find out Im, it should be Vm upon under root r square plus xl square. And in case we have to find out the phase difference, then tan of phi is equal to xl upon r. So here you have to remember that the impedance for LCR series circuit was r square plus xl or xc minus xl whole square. But there is no capacitor, so xc is equal to 0. So we have this impedance. Similarly, tan phi is equal to xl minus or xc minus xl upon r. But there is no xc, so we have only minus xl. Here negative sign will indicate that the current will lag behind the voltage. So current will be less than the phase difference in we can say the current lags behind the voltage by the phase difference phi, whatever value you get. So this is an extra thing. If we have a numerical, you can use the equation of series LCR accordingly. Here this circuit is called as LR circuit. So whenever we close a key, the mutual inductance will increase. So when the iron rod is inserted in the coil, when the iron rod is inserted in the coil, then L is equal to mu n square AL, where L is greater than L naught. Or you can also say the magnetic field inside the inductor will increase, and so the brightness of the bulb will decrease. Now let us say example 7.6. A resistor of 200 ohm and a capacitor of 15 microfarad are connected in series to 220 volt 50 hertz AC source. So we have a resistance and the capacitor. It means it is an RC circuit. It is connected to an AC source where Vm, so here in the place of instantaneous voltage, it is given that it is connected with 220 volt 50 hertz supply. Calculate the current in the circuit. So we have to find out the current. So let us see what is given. We know that this value is RMS value, which is denoted by 220 volt. The frequency given is 50 hertz. So this is your VRMS value. The resistance is equal to 200 ohms and the capacitance is 15 into 10 raised to minus 6 farad. The first thing we have to find out the current in the circuit. So current will be the IRMS. So clearly again see this is an RC circuit. So we have an impedance formula. Common formula was R square plus XC minus XL whole square. Now here we will take XL is equal to 0 because it is RC circuit. So I is equal to V upon Z, where Z is the impedance of the circuit. It becomes 220 divided by R square plus XC square. So this is equal to 220 volt divided by under root. We have 200 square plus XC. So we can find out XC is equal to 1 upon omega C, that is equal to 1 upon 2 pi f C. We substitute this value and put this value here. So we take the value directly from the book. That is, we have to find out XC. So the value given here is 212 ohms. So you can calculate this value because we have to find the many other values also, other things also. So I am directly writing this options answers from the textbook only. So you calculate this XC, it should be 212 ohm. So the current in the circuit as given in the book comes out to be 0.755 ampere as given in the book. So you can calculate this value. Now second is calculate the voltage RMS across the resistor and the capacitor. Now this is the VRMS of the source. We have to find out the VRMS across resistance and the capacitor. So VR, that is VRMS across R. Ohm's law, that is IRMS, because the circuit is in series combination, current is same, so it will be I into R, that is 0.755 into 200. So directly I am writing this value from the book. It comes out to be 151 volt. And then VC, the VRMS across C. So I into XC, that is the Ohm's law again. So this value comes out to be 0.755 into 212, that is equal to 160.3 volt. Now see what we were talking in the theory. If we do the summation of this two, let us ignore this 0.3. So it comes out to be 311 volt and not the 220 volt. So here the algebraic sum of VR and VC is not 311 volt, and that is what is asked in the question. Is the algebraic sum of this voltage more than the source voltage? If yes, resolve the paradox. So clearly the algebraic sum of VR and VC is greater than this VRMS. This is VRMS. This is VRMS across R. This is VRMS across C. So we know that there is a phase difference between the voltage and current. In the case of R, the phase difference was 0. In the case of C, the current was leading the voltage. So you cannot do the algebraic summation. And if we do the algebraic summation, the simple algebraic summation, it comes out to be 11 volt. The algebraic sum of VR and VC is greater than 220 volt. Now this is because the phase difference between the voltage is different. So in the case of R, if I have to draw the phasor diagram of this circuit, say what should be the phasor diagram? The current in both this component is same. So first I draw the phasor of I. This is the phasor. We indicate it by a bold letter. Then VR, it is in phase. So we draw here the phasor of resistor. Then in VC, the current leads the voltage by 90 degree. So VC should be here. So this angle, the phase difference between VR and VC is 90 degree. So the algebraic sum of VR and VC is greater than 220 volt because voltage of both components differ by pi by 2 radian. So if you have to draw a diagram, clearly VR and VC have a phase difference of 90 degree. Now where will be this resultant? Where will be this resultant V? So this resultant V should be somewhere at this point. So I pick up this vector and put it here. Again it becomes a right angle triangle, and we apply the Pythagoras theorem. So if we want this 220 answer, the algebraic sum will not give you the 220 answer. Clearly this algebraic sum is 311 volt. So the algebraic sum of VR and VC is greater than 220 volt because voltage of both component differ by pi by 2 radian. So by Pythagoras theorem, or so we cannot do simple algebraic sum, and therefore we have to take V is equal to under root VR square plus VC square. So you have to apply the Pythagoras theorem, and when you do this, this will be equal to 200 square plus 212 square, and you solve this, it comes out to be exact 220 volt, which is given. So this is how the AC circuits work. In DC circuit, the sum of the voltage drops across the component is equal to the voltage of the source, but in the case of AC, we deal with the RMS value, and also the phase difference between the voltage across R and C differ by 90 degree. So you have to apply the Pythagoras theorem. Similarly, when we find a current, we use the impedance. So in the next lecture, we will continue an important topic which is called as a series resonance. That is how the tuning of the radio or the TV is done, how the radio is used to catch a particular frequency from the atmosphere, which we have many frequencies available in the atmosphere. Out of that, we pick up a particular frequency when we are doing the tuning of the circuit. So the tuning of the radio, that is an important application of AC circuit, which is known as series resonance, will be done in the next lecture. Have a nice day.